Well, welcome to the Power Breakfast Show, of course. And today we are live at the Strathmore University grounds, where we'll be taking a look at a very interesting sport, the sport of archery. And we'll be having a discussion with the national archery organization of Kenya about this sport. They've taken Kenya to several places. They've gone to the Commonwealth Games, to the World Games, and even once went to the Olympics on a wild card. But this time round, with the Olympics barely 5 months away, Kenya has actually qualified on its own merit. And that's why we're here today, to have that discussion and so much more. And to help me discuss this, I'm joined by the coach. I want to call her the head coach. She tells me, just call me coach, of the team, Tabasam Anwar. Tabasam, if you can join me now. And I know, how are you this morning?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you very much.
Good. I know what Kenyans want to see. They want to see some shooting. So maybe we can kick off with that, and then we'll come back for that interview.
Yep, sure.
Go ahead and give them the signal.
The person shooting first is Avi. He's 8 years old. He's been with us for about 2 years, and he's doing excellently. As you can see, his form, his equipment is still beginner's equipment, but hopefully when he's a little bit more grown up, we can get him the professional stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we have Husna. This is a very keen family. There's 3 archers from one family, and we hope to get the mother and father shooting as well. She's also been with us about a year.
What distance is this that she's shooting at?
They're shooting at 20.
Okay. Also
20 meters, yeah. 20 meters, yeah. This is Maliha, Husna's sister. Yeah. As you can see, their form is similar, all of them, and that is the best form.
All right, tell me a little bit about their bows. Very interesting design there.
These brown color ones that you're seeing are beginner's bows. Yeah, this is
and they look so professional.
Yeah, they're called recurve beginner's bows. This is Jahangir, the brother of the 2 girls. He's our upcoming star archer.
I can see that you first begin by almost pointing the arrow, the bow and arrow in the air. What's that?
As you can see, their bows, we call these bare bows. There's no sights. Now, Paul's coming onto the line. Paul has got his bow fully equipped. It's got the sight, the stabilizers and everything. Paul's been doing archery for about 4 years. 4 years, and he's progressing very well, very well. He's also a coach. He's done level 1 coaching, so he's also a coach. This is Zoya Khan. She got her equipment last year, and she's just come out of her mock exam, so she's been off archery for a couple of months while she's been studying. And
I can see, of course, the color and type of bows has changed.
These are now, these are now the professional bows, yeah. This is Joseph, as Jojo as we know him. He's also been with us for about 2 years, and he's he's equipping his bow well now. He's doing well. This is Cornelius. And
he seems to have a different bow completely from any that
no, the bows are similar. It's just that he's got more accessories on his bow. The bows are very they're actually the same bows, but different accessories.
What do the accessories help in? For example, I can see something that's stretching out of the bow.
That is a stabilizer. It helps take in the vibration. The arrow is taking a lot of poundage as it releases from the bow, yeah?
Okay.
So the stabilizer helps you to guide you, to balance your bow, to keep it straight, and to keep you balanced in the wind, yeah?
And above the arrow, there's another little contraption there. What's that?
That's the sight. That's what they look through to see what the focus on what they're shooting at and aim better, yeah? That was Mahesh. The one before that was Parth, yeah? And these are expert archers, these 2. Okay.
Yeah? What's the definition of an expert archer?
Somebody ready to go for qualifications and go international competitions.
Must you have shot a particular distance or have participated in a particular championship to be an expert archer?
Yes, yes. These bows, they need to shoot at 70 meters.
Wow.
All the World Archery Championships are at 70 meters for these bows. So that's quite a distance they have to shoot. The beginners bows, we do little championships for them to encourage them to come forward, to come closer to the 70 meters, yeah? So as you can see, they're progressing very well. All of them are.
I hope I'll have a chance to try the beginner's bow earlier. I mean a bit later on in the show.
You will. We've got them ready for you there.
Is it safe for me?
Yeah, sure.
It is.
Sure.
So let's talk about the history of the sport in Kenya. How far has this sport
archery
come from?
Association has been, well, archery itself has been in Kenya since our ancestors, because up to now the Maasai are still hunting with bows and arrows. Yeah,
that is an interesting
They're still hunting with bows and
observation.
Arrows. Yeah, but the association has been in Kenya since the 60s, late 60s. Yeah, and then a couple of years ago, several years ago, we've kind of like opened it up to stop it from being an elite sport and being an athlete sport. Yeah. So this is what we were qualified to do, is train athletes and take them to championships.
Some of this equipment looks pretty expensive. Is it, or is it just a perception?
I don't know. What are you comparing expensive with? Are you comparing it with golfing?
I'm comparing it with football, where once you have a football
and shoes,
and sometimes you can even play barefoot.
Yeah, but you know, I usually compare it with golf. Golfing is a lot more expensive.
Okay.
This, what Cornelius is holding is a bow that will cost you in the range of about 45,000 upwards, according to the accessories you want to add to it. Yeah.
Wow. So how many people actually shoot for Kenya? How big is the team?
Our team, it depends on which competition we're going for. Yeah? And we always need qualifiers, and usually some of these competitions held overseas, they require for the archer to have a certain best score. Let's put it that way. Yeah, there should be a certain score they've reached in their shooting. They shouldn't be below that. Now, Cookie has reached 580. So in the
Cookie being the lady who's qualified for the Olympics.
Yes, yes. Shazana is her name, but Cookie's, as we all know her.
We'll be talking to her a bit later on.
The last championship we went to, they were very clear. They wanted archers of female archers of 550 up and male archers of 580 upwards. The maximum score is 720 in an archery competition.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how they graded us. So Cookie was the one who had 582, so she went.
582 means that they've taken the number of shots of
that's the total accumulation of the shots they took.
How many points? Okay, so let's look at the board there, and I'm sure people back at home are able to see. So you've got what? These are four different colors. 5 circles actually. The white.
Yeah, 5 different colors. 5 colors,
yes.
Each color has 2 rings.
Yes.
Yeah? Each color has 2 rings. The center yellows, the golds we call them, are the 10. The inner ring is 10 and the outer ring is 9. And then the reds is 8 and 7. Then you have the blues in 6 and 5, the blacks in 4 and 3, and the whites in 2 and 1. Yeah?
Wow.
So that's how they have to score. As you can see, we call those butts. Yeah, the further butt there, you can see the scoring there. Somebody's got their arrows in the red. That's very good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very good scoring there.
So is it similar to darts? The closer you are to the so-called bullseye, the better.
Yeah, so the bullseye is the middle, you get a 10. Yeah, the higher.
Automatic. So if you can shoot there as many times as possible, you go to the Olympics.
And that should be your task, to shoot that gold.
What are we doing to try and take the game to the counties? Because that is now possibly where you could get more talent beyond Nairobi. Is there any thought process towards that?
We tried that in about 8 years ago. We had some Ukambani archers come and shoot with us. We actually did a Harambe and got them this professional, the beginner's bows, and because they were shooting with the traditionally made bows. And I don't know if they've actually stopped archery or whatever. They lost contact with us or something. But we are trying. Okay. There is somebody in towards Eldoret side who actually took equipment, got trained by me, and went to set up. But I think communication is very dim in people getting the right mode of communication.
That's
so
right.
We've tried to chase them and not got back from them any news. Yeah,
I'm sure you've heard the story about the Maasai cricket warriors and how they were trained, to learn cricket. So I'm sure that moving forward, those are some potential initiatives that could happen. Everyone wants to talk to now Shazana and get to know a bit about her. So I know I'll give you a chance to go and just bring her, because she needs to show me how to set up her bow and arrow, her equipment basically. Yeah. And they want to see how she shoots.
Okay.
Especially 70 meters, which I believe is the furthest target that we have today.
Yeah.
You've calculated that 70 meters?
Yes, for sure.
Great. Yeah. Then we're looking forward to that. Of course, the hashtag being Power Breakfast, and we do want to know, get your feedback, get your questions. Do you have any questions for the association here? Do you have any questions for any of our shooters here today? Let us know using the hashtag Power Breakfast, and we will read as much of your feedback as we can. And a bit later on, I've also been told that I get to try out the sport. I know I tried this out, about 4 or 5 years ago. I wasn't very successful at it. It's definitely much harder than it looks. Many people telling me, including some of the crew here, that when they were kids, they used to play with their bows and arrows, and they could do more than 70 meters. But it's one thing to do this sport when you're a kid, and right now, especially with the kind of conditions that they have here, you have to shoot straight. There is a particular technique that you have to learn as well. So it's actually easier said than done. Very, very interesting sport. And in just a second, we're going to be talking to Shazana Anwar. The good news is Kenya has actually qualified for the Olympics. At least we have one slot in this particular sport. The last time in Sydney, we also had a slot, but that was more of a wild card where you're given a slot just to come and see whether you can prove yourself. But this time around, we actually have a Kenyan archer who's qualified, and here she comes now, just about to join me. And what we've done is she hasn't actually set up any of her equipment because she's going to show me how to do it right now. Shazana, how are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. I know it's a bit of an ambush. You look like you want to drink your water first before you get started.
I already drank it. Okay. I actually want to climb into bed, but that's okay.
You'll sleep after this. First things first, show me how you set up your equipment. And you can actually talk to me about it even as you do it.
Ah, sure. Well, there's nothing much to it. Well, it's just watching. If there's something you don't understand, you can ask. Otherwise, I've never really talked someone through setting up my equipment.
Okay, okay.
It's just a lot of pieces. You just got to put them together, because I can't shoot it until it's put together.
Until you've seen this professional equipment, in the back of your mind, you'd think the bow would be a very simple setup, but you have several components that need to be put together. There are roles. I know Tabazam spoke a bit about them, but you can elaborate a bit further.
Yeah, sure. This is the center part of my bow. It's called a riser. This is the strongest part of it. And then you have the arms. These are the limbs. You can see how much protection they need. They're very precious. So padding and all sorts of protection that we store them in. Then for me, it's just a matter of clicking them in. And my limbs are already on the riser. So
you make it sound so easy. How long have you been doing this for?
13 years.
13 years. I'm not going to ask you how old you are, but clearly you picked this up at quite a young age. Okay, you finished the setup because we want to see some of your magic.
Well then, you might be here a while. This is going to take...
On average, how long does it take to set up a bow?
10 minutes, I would say mine.
Really? Okay. What's the hardest part?
No, it's just the many little... making sure all the bits and bobs are on there.
Should I step back? Potentially, no, nothing will snap. Okay, okay. All right, let me just give you some space as you... do the setup. Of course, we were told earlier by Tabasam that some of this equipment starts at about 45,000 going up. And I know Shazana will also tell me how much her bow cost. It looks like it's a bit more expensive than the ordinary, but if you want to shoot 70 meters plus and you're thinking of actually going to the Olympics where the world's best archers are going to be, then you need equipment that's world class, and that is what's going on. You're looking at me, so I'm guessing you're going to talk about the cost and I guess first things first, is this world standard?
Yes, this is world standard.
Is this what you're going to be shooting at the Olympics if it survives till then, that is?
Yes, it will survive till then. She's really strong. Her name is Roxy. So everybody, I'd like you to meet Roxy. I named my bow. Yeah, she will make it definitely, and she's world standard. So okay. Yeah.
Now, is there a calibration? Once you put it all together, do you need to make some adjustments to make sure that it's accurate?
When I'm training, yes, I'm always making adjustments to make sure the bow gets perfectly tuned. But currently, I'm going to try and avoid doing that because then, you know, I might make my arrows go all over the place. Okay. Yeah.
Good. What are we doing now?
No, that's her setup. This is the most basic of a bow. You put the limbs together, the riser and the string. That's it. Okay. But see, for me to shoot the distance I shoot, I'm going to have to add a lot of things to her.
Okay.
Which I'm going to get to now.
Can you add? Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's see the extra equipment now. Because we want to see you shoot 70 meters. No pressure. Okay, setup of lots and lots of accessories which we were told earlier is to help with stability and with aiming as well. I'm becoming a bit of an expert myself in the sport, and I've only been here for about 20 minutes, but nevertheless very exciting. And clearly some archers have become so familiar with their equipment that they have given the equipment names. It's not something you see in every sport, but nevertheless helps you to trust your equipment, because you need to trust your bow and arrow when you're out there in the field on the day of competition. Well, as she continues with the setup, let's take a look at what people are saying on social media. You can talk to us. The hashtag is Power Breakfast, at Wahiga Moora, and also at Kiriko Ngara, who's back in studio. Let me see here, something I could make in the house, but I'm sure the kind of material that they're making it out of and the way it's shaped, tell me just whether that contributes to how far you can shoot.
Okay, this is the shaft of the arrow. It's made of carbon fiber, and on the inside it's got an aluminium lining. This particular arrow is actually barreled. Basically you can't see it, it's not visible to the naked eye, but the arrow is actually thicker in the center. This helps when shooting the long distance. Okay. Yeah. We've got stainless steel tips. They're pretty sharp, but they're not for shooting at people, so that's fine. Safety, which is like, do not dry fire a bow, do not shoot a bow without an arrow. Basically, that's very dangerous for the bow. Okay. And for the archer.
Because you could spoil it.
Yeah, if the bow could break, and then that's dangerous to the bow and the archer. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk more safety in just a bit. We're waiting to see you shoot now. I think I can hear my director telling me we want to see this action. The build-up has been pretty good. Of course, a pack of 12 arrows going for 3,600, basic mathematics, saying at least each arrow should cost 360, maybe 400 shillings or so. 36, my goodness, so we're talking 4,000, about 3,600 to 4,000 shillings per arrow, and that tells you why they cannot do this on concrete ground or anywhere where one of the arrows could be damaged. They need a clear open space, no concrete walls, no concrete ground. Otherwise, that's 4,000 shillings that's gone up in smoke. But these are the kind of arrows you need if you want to compete on the global scale. You're talking about the Olympics, you're talking about potential World Championships, Commonwealth Games. That's what we are talking about. Now, even as she does the setup, you've actually gone to the Commonwealth Games before. What was your experience last time you were there?
It was an incredible experience. It's nothing like, you cannot say that you've had such an experience before. It was a very big competition. It was a very good experience for me. But other than that, now it's just to aim higher.
Aim higher.
Yeah.
Good. As you do your last setup, I can see a friend of mine, Mr. Ochieng, Paul Ochieng. If you can come and join me now, we'll just give Shazana a minute or two. As soon as she's ready, she will indicate to us that she's good to go. I can see her last minute. But Ochieng, if you can join me here. Habari ya asubuhi.
Nzuri sana.
Okay. How long have you been in the sport for?
I've been shooting since 2010, and I've only represented the country once in 2012 at Africa Championships, which were also Olympic qualifiers, and we reached the quarterfinals. So I'm very happy. Though this time I didn't go to Namibia, but Cookie has made Kenya and Africa very proud to be the first Kenyan to qualify, and she's qualified top of her league, I mean by being #1, winning gold. We're very happy for that.
Good. A few minutes ago, you were telling me something interesting about the contraption you have on your hand and why it is important. So as my cameraman just zooms in to show people what, and if you look at everyone just behind us, they all have one gadget or the other on this hand. Talk to me about why this is very, very important for anyone who wants to get into the sport.
This is very, very important because as you release the arrow, the string vibrates because of the power that you've released it with. So
pull an arrow out and demonstrate it for us.
So as Cookie had shown you, this is an arrow. It's made of carbon fiber and aluminium inside, and then we have got fletchings which are made of plastic. This is a knock. This is where now it goes and enters the string, if you can look at that. Then this we call a tip. It isn't as sharp as you might think it would be, but because of the force with which a recurve bow shoots, it goes into the target quite easily. It won't hit them. And I think you've been seeing the speed with which they go.
I've been seeing that. Now talk to me about what would happen if I was using such equipment and I didn't have what you have on your hand.
So now this is an arm guard. Call it an arm guard. What happens is if you are to shoot without it, the vibration of the string, normally it goes back and forth, of course, because you've released the arrow and has gone forward, and then it also goes sideways, and this is where it would hit you.
Yes.
And it would hit you very hard. It's very painful.
Wow.
And you might even get a bruise, so that's why it's good to have an arm guard. They are of different shapes and colors depending on how you shoot, because like for mine, mine is small. Others have bigger ones. Beginners, we advise them to have bigger ones because they are still getting the correct.
You're likely to make more mistakes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's why they can hit themselves all the way from here up to here. For us,
so I hope you'll give me one to cover my whole hand.
We will give you. I mean, we have several there. We will also show you how to shoot. It's very easy. The key thing is if you have the form correctly, and as you see, we've been shooting with a similar form, which is you form a T.
Yes.
You see, so once you form a T, then with that you are very stable. So what we do is we push the arrow and you pull the string. That holds it stable. So what you need to do thereafter now is to aim. Then you release. The holy grail for an archer is always a smooth release.
A smooth release.
A smooth release.
That's what every archer needs to be thinking about.
If it jacks, and if it jacks here by a millimeter, it will reflect there by even about 10 centimeters. If it jacks by an inch, it can even reflect there by about a meter or even miss the target altogether.
Good. Now, and I want you to hold this mic for me because you helped me in commentating this. Shazana looks like she's set.
Yes.
And I want you to walk us through the shooting technique of a person who's qualified for the Olympics. Kenya's sole qualifier, and the first person to have ever done it on merit.
Exactly.
Not by wild card.
Not by wild card.
Oh, okay. She's telling me that no high expectations.
Yes.
She's tuning the bow now. Okay.
Yes.
So talk to me about tuning the bow. How long does that take, and how exactly do you do it?
What tuning the bow is that, you see, this is a very precise equipment, and that's why you find that what she's holding there is what we call a sight. Now it has got some readings on it. I wish the cameraman could zoom on the readings that are on it, because those readings are what you use to measure where to put your sight for which distance. So there is no fixed for everybody. Depending on your bow, depending on the poundage, depending on your size, the readings are different. So for us, I mean, I cannot use her bow to shoot for the same distance that you're going to shoot, which is 70. Now, because of that, therefore, you have to tune the bow. Tuning the bow means that it has to be consistent. It has to be consistent, and for it to be consistent, the first person to be consistent is actually the archer. So what she will do after our other archers have gone to collect their arrows is that she will aim at a specific spot with all the arrows and to see the consistency. Because in archery, it's about consistency. If you are consistent, even if it's off the bull's eye, then there's something very small you need to adjust, which once you adjust it, you bring all those arrows that were consistently off the bull's eye onto the bull's eye. Then with that, she will have made several adjustments, and the bow will be tuned, whereby when she will begin to shoot at competition, it will go straight to the same place, all of them.
She looks like she's now ready, but waiting for the fields to be clear. Is that what's happening?
That's true.
Good. Even as she does that, I just want to read some feedback real quick. Lots of people talking to us. Tuo Mwangi saying #PowerBreakfast, loving the archery piece, hope it goes to the counties. And that's a question some people are asking. Mary Bisieri again tweeting and saying it seems to be lively, but when you know how to play it, it's a nice game. Arnold Kanyangonda saying archery, javelin, cycling, F1, all sports Kenyans should be good at, but need lots of finance and support. That's a question I'm going to pose to you, Paul. And someone else saying, by the way, from the Maasai community, they have bows and arrows, but they use it when fighting. I hope they can be converted to actually make that a sport. Finance and support.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about what is needed to take this sport to the next level.
Okay, to take this sport to the next level, first and foremost, you need passion and interest. When I began it in 2010, I had the passion and the interest. Then after that, I mean, to get a full equipment, a beginner's equipment, if you have 20,000, you can get beginner's equipment. Cookie's arrows and the arrows we are using are minimum 3,000 shillings.
Yes.
But as a beginner, you don't need to start with that. The beginner's arrows are as cheap as 400 shillings per arrow.
Okay.
And for a competition, you only need 6.
Although that's a meal for one person, but that's a story for another day.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So, I mean, with that investment, you can have, I mean, a pretty good bow that you can start with. And then as you advance, you can get, I mean, a better bow and therefore shoot at competition. A way forward would be, I mean...
I like that, a way forward.
A way forward would be if we can get, I mean, we can get them cheaply. I can give you an example. Indians are one of the best archers in the world, and you know what? They make bamboo bows. Yes, I mean, Indians make bamboo bows. We have got people using other types of metals. So other countries have managed to make them cheaply. All I'm looking forward to is if one of our fabricators, one of our industrialists can come forth, get the specifications for a bow, and they can use wood, like you saw those beginners bows are made of wood. Exactly. So you can begin from there. Then now when you reach the professional level, you can now upgrade to, one that is
good.
Quite big.
Good. Paul, we'll carry on. Shazana, are we good to go now? You think so? All right. So, because she can't talk while she's doing this, I expect you, Paul, to tell me basically what.
So now
the process of
she's loading the bow. We call it loading the bow with
an
the arrow.
Olympian. I want to call an Olympian.
Exactly.
Hopefully a medalist.
She's setting it now. She's already set it. So she's taken the stance.
This guy doesn't come off at full draw.
Okay, I'll check on that for you. So what she's doing now, she's tuning. These are new arrows that she's got, which she wants to practice with for the Olympics. Now what we need to, what I'll be observing right now is that as she's pulling, this knock doesn't detach from the shaft. So that's what you do, because if it does, it can ricochet backwards or even forwards and injure somebody. So as she's drawing, I'll observe that, and if it's loose, I'll tell her, and then she will, stop the shooting exercise.
Okay.
So now she's taken the stance. This is what we call an open stance, whereby one of the feet is a bit forward from the other. She's now, focusing. She's raising the bow. She's drawing. What she has done now, she has anchored. My eye is keenly on where the knock is. It's intact. So she's now aiming. She's released, and as you can hear from the sound, it hit the target.
It hit the target, yes.
So she's already seen where it has hit, and she's doing the adjustment. So she's doing the adjustment. As you can see, she's moved it up. The principle with adjustment, to explain it, is quite simple. Whereby if the arrows have gone up on the target,
yes,
you actually move the sight up.
So the arrows go down.
Exactly.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. If the arrows are going down, you move the sight down so that the arrows go up.
What is the impact of the sun on the sport? Because right now I am straining to see the target, and I'm sure sometimes on match day, it might be a very hot day.
Yes. Now, what happens is, most competitions, they try to hold them after the sun has risen up to some considerable, height.
Okay.
This is if the shooting range like ours faces, east.
Okay.
Now, however, most competitions, they do them, in the afternoons, or at a range which is facing north-south.
Okay.
So the sun won't affect you as such.
Okay.
However, as you alluded, the weather can affect how you shoot. First and foremost, when it's windy. And that's why the bow Cookie is shooting is a 34-pound bow. In kilograms, it's about, it's about half of that. What I mean is that is not the weight of the bow. That is the draw. Like now, what she's doing now, it's like somebody holding 34 pounds.
Wow.
Exactly.
And I've heard it hitting the target.
You've had it hit the target. So she did the adjustments, they've helped. So she wants to confirm that position again, so that she can, finally, tune it. So she's now just doing a few adjustments.
In a competition, how many chances do you get to shoot before the next person? Okay, what happens is, in a competition, all competition begins with ranking. Ranking is, you shoot 72 arrows. You shoot them in groups of 6s, which you call ends. Okay. So you shoot 6, you go, you score. Shoot another 6, you go, you score. So you shoot 12 ends. Now, once you've done the 72, which therefore will be out of 720, because the maximum for each arrow is 10. Yes. You are ranked from number 1 to the last person. Yes. Then now we begin elimination, which is they do the first one shoots with the last one, like that, until the people have been, it has come to half of them, and then just like that until you proceed up to the... So you eliminate until you get a winner? Yes. My goodness. Exactly. How is she doing today? How would you rate her performance? I know she said that she could have taken more time to calibrate, but because of the challenges of live TV... That's a very good shot. That's a very good shot. That's a red. Okay. So a red is an 8. So what we are aiming for now is for her to hit a gold, and she will have perfectly tuned the bow. If you join me on this side, we can continue with just that, and I hope in just a second you'll be taking me now to teach me a little bit about that. I don't even want to touch this equipment here. No, this one is too heavy. It's too heavy for me. I've held one before. I know the challenges, but I could try on the lighter side. So let's see now what she's going to do with this. Yeah, because... So you basically, okay, so you eliminate... And then you see she is perfectly still. Good one. That's also an 8, so it's almost at the 9 and the 10. So she's almost there. She's almost there, because with new arrows you have to tune them, whereby they behave differently, because they will twist and turn differently depending on the force of the bow. Aims again. How can you tell someone is a good archer just by looking at them? Is there a height preference? Is there a size preference? Or anyone can be a star in this sport?
Anyone can be a star, and I'll repeat that. Anyone can be a star. All you need to have the correct form, because there is physics in this.
There is physics.
There's physics in it. So it is. I mean, see, she's pushing forward. She'll pull back. You can be swaying, and if you are swaying, of course you'll miss.
You're going to miss.
Exactly. So that's what is required there. And then the next thing is patience, because you have to aim, focus. You'll miss. You'll not get the target.
Yes.
You'll not hit where you want to hit, but you have to be patient and adjust accordingly.
It sounds like it can be a bit frustrating for a first timer.
Yes, it can be.
Keep missing, sending your arrows all over the place.
But it's fun.
It's fun.
We tell people begin at 5 meters.
Do this.
Yes.
Show me how to take now walk me through that.
Great. So now I'll show you how to shoot.
Okay.
I'll need to get
let me stand on this
a
side.
bow.
Okay.
So I'll
Give me the easiest one, man.
Yes. This is a pretty easy bow. This is 12 pounds.
Okay.
So this will be very, very easy.
I'll ask one of you to hold this for me, please.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm told I need to be stable, right?
Yes.
Good. There
So
we go.
This is a 12 pound bow.
Okay.
So it will be pretty easy. So it has a handle, as you see here. So this being a wooden bow, so has a handle, and you put your hand like you put it there.
Do you want me to actually grab
Yes,
one?
yes, grab one.
So I'll put down the mic and I'll listen to you as you speak.
Okay, good. So hold it like that. Now, your thumb has to be there, and this part has to rest comfortably there.
Okay.
Very well. Good. So what I'll do, I'll come in front of you and then now show you. So stretch out your arm, and what you need to do is that this side of your body, your hip should face the target. So that's another mark of knowing if somebody knows archery or not.
Okay.
So if your hip is not facing the target, then I know you have no idea of what you're doing. So stretch out your hand. Your hand like that. Good. Now try and draw the string. Just hold it. Don't release it. With three fingers. So draw it all the way up to your chin. All the way, and rest it there. So that's the basic thing, to draw. Okay. Release it slowly. Just bring it back. Why I've told you to release it slowly is because it was saving a lot of power, and therefore, if you do something we call a dry fire, it can break the limb. It can break the limb, yeah. So why doesn't it break when you shoot? Because all that force is passed to the arrow and sends it to the target. So that's why you don't release. Without having an arrow on the bow. So I'll request if I can get an arrow, then I help you to load it.
Just put that there.
So this is an arrow. So it's slightly different from mine because these ones are spin vanes. Spin vanes, if you look at them, the arrow as it's leaving, apart from turning and twisting, it also spins. And if you have got spin vanes which are, it helps you go straight to the target. So they are very much allowable. So it's nothing new in archery. You can use that. Now, the arrow I've given you is a beginner's arrow, which you find the fletchings are straight, made of plastic. It has got a knob and a tip. So now, how do you load the arrow? Let's move it like that. Put this on your foot. That's what you do. Then you put it on the arrow rest. This is called an arrow rest. So you rest it there, then you knock it here. So you knock it here. Let's try and knock it there. Let's put it. Okay, so just let me see. So just push it there. Push it there. Yes.
There.
Push it here.
Until it goes in.
Exactly. Has it gone in?
Yeah.
Have you had the knock? Great.
Yeah.
Good. So now, for beginners, since you're not using a sight, I would want you to aim with the eye straight. Okay. Now, what you need to do is that you'll have to pull this and bring it up here to the eye, such that the tip of the arrow has to be where you want it to be. And I guess today you want to hit a gold.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So the tip has to be on the gold. Then when you are stable, try and hold your breath that moment, because you see, when you breathe, you are moving up and down. And as I said earlier, if you move here by a millimeter, it will move by a bigger margin there. Exactly. So now, let's go.
Okay. Remind me what I was doing with my hand again.
Bring it here.
Okay, this
Good.
way.
Rest it there. Now, stretch out that one. Stretch out.
Hold on. Okay. There,
Exactly. Then 2 fingers on top,
2 on top,
1 below.
1 below. So this one's off.
Exactly. And so the thumb and the small finger off. So now, draw it. So stretch out the bow arm. Make sure you are stable. Okay, great. Now, so bring it all the way up to your eye and make sure the tip is on the gold.
Now, this thing, it's dancing over here. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. As long as it's on the arrow rest. So now bring it all the way up to here. The bow arm must stretch fully. Exactly. Now, bring it all the way, all the way, all the way. The tip is aiming at the gold. Okay, when you're comfortable, release. Awesome. You have it. Gold. That's it.
Yeah?
I don't know why you are not joining us. That's it.
Let me do this. So,
That is it.
and I don't think I was stable enough yet.
You aren't stable enough.
It's not easy to do this on camera.
This is a good beginning. It's on camera.
You know what? Let me see if I can do it again.
Yes.
Don't praise me too quickly. Okay, let me get another one. I see.
Okay, great. Let me hold the mic for you.
So let's see if I can do this again.
Put it on the arrow rest.
Okay, so like this. Like this, yeah. Like that, two.
Make sure that it's resting there.
Okay, just hold on.
No, so
Are you happy? Look at
one on top, 2 below. 1 finger on top, 2
That's
below.
it? Okay.
Yes.
Like that,
Great.
like that.
Okay. So you shouldn't hold it with 3 fingers.
Okay.
Great. And then, okay, good.
Put your hand.
Stretch your hand out. Draw it up to here. Now aim. Another gold. It wasn't by fluke.
You know, I don't know if people at home are seeing this. I hope my cameraman Nelson is getting this, because someone can think I'm cheating.
No.
It's actually
Another gold. It's another gold. That's awesome. I think you should be joining us.
You think I can make it to the Olympics instead of covering the Olympics?
No, instead of covering the Olympics, actually,
I want to go to the Olympics and stay in the Olympic Village.
Exactly. This was good.
Then let's do this. Let me give you one last shot. Then I read social media feedback.
Great. Good. So load it. So so it should be like that. So load it now.
Go.
So load it completely. Make sure it's tight. That's tight now.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Good. So make sure your hips are facing the target. Feet slightly apart though. Okay, good. That gives you stability. Aim for it. Aim for it. There we are. Great. Though now it's a blue. But that's good. That's good.
I could feel that I wasn't stable, but I wasn't patient enough to wait. So I see what you mean by patience.
You need patience because you have to, aim and hold it stable. The most important thing is a smooth release, and the moment of release, you must hold stable. Yes, the moment of release,
okay,
you must be stable. So with that, the arrow will go to exactly where you want it to go. Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
okay. I've been seeing, let me see what people are saying now. Edith Ngobe saying,
yes,
that's an interesting game in our home of heroes. Wahiga would really like to compete with you. Haha. Question,
yes,
how does someone join the team if you're interested? Okay,
at the moment we have clubs mainly in Nairobi that are doing recurve bows. We have got this one, which is also the headquarters of of Kenya Archery. So we shoot every Sundays from 4 p.m. We have beginners bows, as you've been seeing, so anybody can come and try it out. As you see, Avi is very young. I mean, he's 9 years old,
yes,
and he's shooting very well. Then we also have in clubs, at the moment we also have clubs. We have Nairobi Archery Club, we have one in Karen. Universities are there. We have Strathmore University, and also we have USIU who are shooting. So we look forward to having our first participants in World University Games next year in Taipei, China.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me just check what other people are asking. Judy Piri saying big ups. Arnold Kanyangonda, who I know is a football commentator, actually saying Shazana is impressive and inspiring. Let sponsors start lining up to send her to Rio. And I know that's a big challenge everyone going to Rio is facing. How am I going to get the money? Especially bearing in mind a lot of people want to participate in friendlies,
yes,
or warm-ups or build-ups before the actual Rio Games. And you can talk a bit about that. Does Shazana have to compete in anything else before actually going to Rio?
Yes, she needs a lot of competition, and preferably we would advise that she goes to Europe.
Okay.
And when she qualified, actually, one of the judges there told her, you are very, very good, and I think you have a very good chance of winning a medal at the Olympics. And if you can get at least 2 months of, of shooting in Europe, would be very good. Why do I say Europe? Because some of the top archers are in Europe.
That's right.
Much as the world champions are Koreans, but Europe you get quite a variety of archers. Number one. Number two, Southern Europe, during the summer, has got similar temperatures to the ones in Brazil.
And you need to think about that even as you begin to prepare for Brazil.
Exactly. So she needs at least 2 months camp. In a very competitive place. That will help her improve her shooting.
Good.
We need that.
Paul, I'll hold you on that because as a young man here I want to have a chat with. Please come and join me here. Avi, how are you this morning?
Fine.
Okay, I need you to face the camera there, and you can begin by introducing yourself first to us.
My name is Avi. I'm an 8-year-old.
Okay, and I'm even going to give you your own mic. There you go. And how long have you been doing this sport for?
I just do 1 year.
1 year. What were some of the things you found challenging?
Like just to bust balloons and like that.
Bust balloons?
Yeah.
With your arrow?
Yeah.
Okay. No, but right now, has there been anything that's been difficult for you? It's been so easy so far. It's been easy.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to achieve in the sport? You started at a very young age.
I want to be a good player at shooting arrows.
Okay. Who are some of the people you look up to?
My dad, my friends, and all those guys.
And all those guys. Okay, what's your advice to other young people? You know, there are young people who are watching you, they want to do what you're doing. What would you say to them?
I'd say it's fun, they can come. It's good to join and learn.
Okay. Quick one though. What made you first get involved in the sport? What made you first think I can actually do this?
My dad, because he showed me a video and then he was saying that this sport will be really easy for me to do.
And has it been easy?
Yeah.
Very?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to show us a little bit of what you can do right now?
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Alright, show me something. Show me something with your bow and arrow. Okay, okay, yes, that's right. So he needs to actually wait for some of the archers who are on the field to come back, and that's how we'll wind up the show today. So he'll just basically take us out there, and Paul, just maybe we wind up with starting this when you're young and how important it is, because I know in practically every sport, once you start at an age like this, then basically the sky's the limit. Your parting words just about getting this started actually from the youth stage. Carry on.
Okay, so you see, like with every sport, it's good somebody grows into it. If you look at the current world champions, they began playing when they were very young. Serena Williams began at 5, and with Avi at 8 now, I think she'll have a lot of practice time to be a very top archer, because he's been with us consistently for the last 2 years, and he's going places. As you can see, such a young age, he's doing it so calmly. I mean, so calmly, you would expect him to be tense and all that, but he's doing it very calmly. If you look at Cookie Shazana, I mean, she's done very, very well, because she's been shooting for the last 14 years.
Yes.
So beginning young is very important. Beginning young is very important, and I would be very, very happy if this can be adopted by the sports ministries in all counties. Because there's a lot of talent in Kenya, I can tell you. The only thing that is lacking is that, is that arena where they can perform.
So apart from, of course, this ground, there are very few grounds that are actually set aside for archery.
Yes. So at Strathmore here, we are hosting, Kenya Archery, of which I'm the Secretary General also. And why we are doing this is because we want to promote the sport. We want to promote this sport. We have another shooting range, which is now where the Strathmore University team shoots at, and we have another one in Karen, we have another one in Oshawa, we have one at USIU where the archery team is also coming up, just like my archery team, and I know with time we will make it. At times, we are invited to help, people shoot at hotels where some tourists, when they come, they say, can we get practice time for archery? Some people call us to do it for them as team building. And we hope that from all this, we will get a lot of interest.
Good. Time to wind up the show, and as I do, let me just do some feedback here. Dante Sigua saying, Wahiga Moora, you have a hidden talent in archery. Very interesting sport.
Awesome.
And wish Cookie. Cookie is not Cookie like the one you eat. It's K-U-K-I.
Exactly.
Okay, but this one saying Cookie all the best in the Olympics. Mwinzi Joseph saying, oh my gosh, she can be the best hunter. Let her train harder to beat. I don't know why people are comparing the sport with hunting. Of course, this one is an actual competition, not just what you see out there. And let me see here, just one last SMS that I've seen that was also rather interesting. Kirigo Ngaro is telling me to calm down. I'll tell her also to calm down as well. If she can come here and show me whether she can do better. What was my final score?
Your final score, you scored 2 10s and 1 8. That gives you 28 out of 3 with a possible maximum of 30.
Okay.
So 28 out of 30 is a very high score.
Just tell that to Kirigo now.
28 out of 30, Kirigo, is a very high score.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And finally, Gobe saying you can make it in archery. Just be confident you've made it. Go Wahiga. And the last one here, Lady Anwar, very inspiring. Keep it up and retain the power. Well, that's all the time that we had today on the Power Breakfast Show. Taking a look at archery, the sport. We've talked about the equipment, talked about how to do it, and of course spend some time with the lady who's taking Kenya to the Olympics. Now we'll be catching up with her later, even as she does her preparations. We'll have all this exclusively on Citizen TV. But for now, it's time to wind up. Thanks to Paul and the whole team here in Tabasam, and basically all the archers who've taken their time from their busy schedules to come here and be a part of this show. But for now, I believe I should hand back to studio.